It is January and February, and that means it's our off season. But in between blizzards, we managed to get into the kitchen a couple of times to do a little bit of cooking. We had a couple of pickup orders, a couple of full service catering events, and a few special events this winter. So stick around after the intro to see what we did. This is our off season, January and February. So our first day back in the kitchen after our couple week winter break was right after a blizzard where we got about a foot of snow dumped on us. So the first thing I had to do was get the driveway and parking lot all plowed out so we could get in there and start cooking and get ready for our pickups. The first order of the year was a pickup for some box lunches. We did these for some good friends of ours that run an in-home healthcare business. They ordered ham and Swiss and turkey bacon sandwiches for their lunches. So here we are, just getting started for the day. First thing to do is get some tomatoes sliced up and get that work out of the way, because once that's done, there isn't much prep to do. Had to cook a little bacon, but other than that, it's just making sandwiches. So it was a pretty easy day to start back up after our break and to get 2026 rolling for us. Got started with the ham and Swiss sandwiches first. We get this ham from the same butcher that we get all of our meat from. We get it from their deli department. They call it an easy carve ham. We get it sliced really thin. It's a little sweet, kind of smoky. It's very good ham. Probably my favorite deli ham that you can get, and I don't know anyone else that has it other than them. So we're pretty lucky to have those guys. They had ham and Swiss, as I said, and then turkey bacon were the sandwiches. So knocked the ham and Swiss out first. Got those out of the way while the bacon was cooling. And pretty simple. Hoagie bun, some ham, Swiss cheese, lettuce and tomato. Each box lunch comes with a mustard packet and a mayonnaise packet that people can put on if they want it. There you see the finished ham and Swiss subs right before I wrap them up. And there is the finished turkey bacon subs. Didn't get any footage of building those, but don't look much different from making the ham sandwiches. Got those made and wrapped up, and it was time to throw them in the boxes. Our box lunch, you get your cold sandwich, a bag of Lay's potato chips, a chocolate chip cookie, and a piece of fresh fruit. It's usually an apple or a banana, unless they request otherwise. We've done grapes and oranges and all that sort of stuff, but find the apple holds up the best. Takes up the least amount of room in the box, surprisingly. So once I got those boxed up and labeled, they came and picked those up, and that was it for day one. Day two of the year was just a couple days later. We had an order that we took and dropped off. It was another lunch. They did herb roast chicken, pot roast with gravy, whipped potatoes, salad, and buttered baby carrots. I worked myself these couple of days, so I wasn't able to get a ton of footage of everything, but I did the best I could, as much as I could remember. After a couple weeks off, it was kind of hard to remember to do anything, just going back and getting started and getting in the swing of things again. Did manage to get some footage of seasoning and roasting the chicken, though. And there's the chicken quarters all finished. Nice crispy skin. And I got some footage of the whipped potatoes before I wrapped them up. Week or two later, I had an order for some soups. It was another lunch, a couple different soups, and our chickpea salad. We did minestrone soup, tomato basil soup, and chicken and rice. Thought I was getting footage of these soups getting made, but the memory card was full. Forgot to clear it out after last year ended, so I didn't get all of the footage that I thought I was getting. Was able to get a little bit, and then got some on my phone once I realized that the camera wasn't recording like I thought it was. But here you see just getting a little bit of the soup prep ready that we were able to get. And there's a shot of the chickpea, cucumber, and feta salad that went along with those three soups. A few days after that, had a simple pickup order for a veggie tray. By now, we were into February and getting ready for our Valentine's dinner. We did a multi-course Valentine's dinner. We had Aiden Ash come play violin and guitar in the dining room during dinner. Here you see we had two soup courses. We did a tomato basil soup with the amuse-bouche, and then the soup course, which came after the salad, was a broccoli cheddar. So I made both of those at the same time. Adding some cream to the tomato basil there, just enough to get a nice color on it. A little more. There we go. Once that cooks down, that'll be a nice, beautiful color. And then the cheddar broccoli soup. There you see that finished. Along with that, something else we prepped early out of the way was the dessert. It was a homemade apple crumble topped with a bourbon caramel sauce. So we got some Granny Smith apples from Grove Fruit Farm and got that made up ahead of time. On Valentine's Day, when we had our Valentine's dinner, we also had a catered event offsite that we sent out. That menu was our smoked brisket that you see there, along with grilled lemon boneless served chicken breast, which we brought Johnny in to help grill. And then their sides were, I believe, au gratin potatoes, green beans, and a salad, I think. So luckily, the snow was not around for our first grill of 2026. It actually wasn't too bad out there that day. We got that cooked and shipped off right before it was time to start our Valentine's dinner. We had guests come to our dining room in Amherst. There you see grilled cheese on Texas toast. It was a smoked cheddar grilled cheese. We served that with the tomato basil soup. That was an amuse-bouche. Gave that as the guests came in and sat down to get them started and get them warmed up. Um, we had Johnny and Stephanie took the event out. Me and Ramon stayed and prepared the Valentine's dinner, along with Libby and Sarah, who served the courses. So they started with the amuse bouche, like I said, the smoked cheddar grilled cheese with the tomato basil soup. Second course was a winter mixed green salad. So mixed greens, um, goat cheese, dried cranberries, bacon, balsamic with a house-made spiced walnut. Second course was the broccoli cheddar soup with homemade croutons. There you see Ramon dishing that up. Third course is where the options came in. They could either get the herb-crusted beef tenderloin or roast chicken. Both of those were served topped with pan gravy, potato croquettes that you see there with chive and parsley, and a mixed winter vegetable. The winter vegetable was roasted carrots, parsnips, and turnips. So here I am plating up the third course for one of the tables. Potato croquettes already on the plates first, stacked. And then I added a little bit of the winter veg. And from there, the meat and sauce. We do dinners like this. We try to keep it as seasonal as we can with things like the veg and the soups and the toppings on the salad. Try to bring a warm, comforting effect to the menu. If you want to get a taste of something like this, something a little different than our usual catering fare, we're doing two more similar dinners this year. We're doing a summer harvest dinner, which is going to be based around local produce that we can get here in Lorain County in the summer. And then we're doing a fall harvest dinner as well in October, which is the same idea but with a more autumn-based produce menu. And we're going to work with some local farm markets here to get that produce. So get it as local and farm to table as we can. Cooked these tenderloins medium rare. Gave the guests an option to get it cooked a little more if they wanted, but they were all smart. Everyone went with medium rare. These were just delicious. Absolutely the most tender, delicious beef that I think I've ever made. I was really happy with how these turned out. Like I said, I did make a pan gravy that we put on top once they were plated. It wasn't actually this dark in the kitchen that day, just the way the camera reacted with my heat lamp there made it look very moody, but it was actually pretty bright in there, just like it normally is. There's a shot of the tenderloin plates. And there is the chicken with its pan gravy. Same sides, parsley and shallot potato croquettes and the mixed winter veg. In between the main course and the dessert course, we did a complimentary chocolate, which was just a small cup of hot cocoa with whipped cream. Forgot to get any footage of that, but here is Ramon dishing up the dessert. The homemade apple crumble with the bourbon caramel drizzled on top. And lucky for us, I made a little too much, so we got to try some of that when the evening was over, and it was quite delicious. A couple weeks after Valentine's Day, we had our second special event of the year. It was Sunday brunch in our dining room. We do a brunch buffet with a handful of breakfast specials that we cook out of the kitchen. It's one price for everything. You can eat as much or as little as you'd like. We do a couple of these a year. They're pretty fun. I got my start cooking breakfast in the first couple restaurants I worked at, so I really enjoy it. So it's fun to do this a couple times a year just to keep my breakfast skills sharp. One of the things that makes us special is our eggs Benedict and eggs Florentine. We do a homemade hollandaise sauce for it. So here I am getting that ready. First thing I did is took a couple of cold egg yolks, blended them up with some salt, pepper, lemon juice, and a pinch of cayenne pepper. Wanted to get them nice and frothy, get some air worked into them. From there, I started streaming in some very hot clarified butter. This is how I cook my hollandaise. The butter is so hot that as you stream it in, it starts to cook the egg yolks. And as long as you stream it in slowly and keep the egg yolks moving constantly, your eggs won't curdle. You'll have a nice smooth sauce. It takes a minute, but I find there's less chance of error here. Double boiler method, whatever. I've scrambled the eggs a couple times and had to start from the beginning. With this method, I never have. It's been pretty foolproof for me. So as the butter slowly goes in, like I said, cooks the egg yolks, sauce starts to thicken, gets very voluminous quickly, doubles, triples in size in the pan, and that's how you know that the butter is doing its job. I think we're to a good consistency here, so we're going to stop and do a little taste test. Adding a little bit of water, that's going to slow the cooking process down. A little cool water will help thin it out, help cool it off so it doesn't continue to cook. And then the main thing is you want to just keep those eggs moving. while it's still hot. Otherwise, you will have a block of scrambled eggs with butter in the pan. You have to keep them moving until it's cool enough to not keep cooking. Looks like I added a little pinch of salt there. Second taste test to make sure that that little bit of salt was all it needed. And that seemed to be the case. Stick around, we'll show you plating up an Egg Benedict here shortly. Got Ramon seasoning the roasted potatoes to go out on the buffet. And we are getting this ready. It is right before service. With our brunches, we do reservations recommended, but we do accept walk-ins. We had some fruit, pastries, biscuits with homemade sausage gravy, oatmeal, French toast, roast potatoes, bacon, sausage, and a vegetable egg strata. That was all on the buffet. Then out of the kitchen, we did eggs to order and folded omelets, breakfast sandwiches, pancakes, and our Eggs Benedict and Eggs Florentine. Along with that, drinks were included, milk, juice, and coffee. So all that for one price. Like I said, you eat as much or as little as you want. It's just something we kind of do for fun. We enjoy it. Here we are getting one of our folded omelets together. These are pretty popular. A lot of omelets, a lot of Eggs Benedict, in addition to guests eating off the buffet when we do these. Once the egg is set up, I do give it a quick flip. In our kitchen, we do not have a salamander or broiler or anything like that. So I just do a quick flip to make sure both sides are cooked. Leave the egg pretty soft, let it kind of cook itself after that. Also helps get the cheese melting because we're putting the cheese right on a hot egg and then putting the hot fillings on top of it. So for those of you that say you're not supposed to flip an omelet, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. These actually turn out pretty nice. Here we are poaching some eggs. So we got a couple orders for some Benedicts and Florentines early. Someone wanted their Benedict with regular bacon. So we had one of those and then 3 regular Benedicts. Do the eggs, standard for us is poached soft. So had Ramon help me plate these up. He did the bacon and ham while I was getting the eggs out. that hollandaise from earlier. It's quite a good dish. We have guests that come to our brunches pretty much just to get the eggs benedict. It's definitely a specialty of mine. Here is a breakfast sandwich. Simple grilled cheese with pepper jack and cheddar and bacon. I just thought it looked really nice, so I decided to get a little footage of it. Our last event of the off season was a catered event. We got some mushrooms and onions going for some green beans. Had a very, very large batch of macaroni and cheese to get made. And along with that, they had some lemon herb grilled chicken and some smoked pork. Had about 155 guests. We went out to New Russia Township Hall, where we've been many times. It was a night at the races event for a local high school's marching band, the fundraiser that we do for them every year. Here you see the buffet, rolling butter as usual, buttered red skin potatoes, green beans with mushrooms and onions, macaroni and cheese, smoked pulled pork with the grilled lemon herb chicken breast, and they did a salad table as well. And that rounded out our off season. I am recording this on March 4th, so we just started to get ready for spring. We're a little bit busier in March, but not much. We really start to get in the swing of things in April and May. So we're going to start getting our venue ready for spring. Stick around. We'll do another video. Not sure if I'm going to do March and April together or just do March on its own. We'll see what happens. But until next time, we'll see ya.